Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be talking about why Vegito will beat the shit out of Gogeta. Nah, I'm just kidding. Well, kinda. So here's how this video is gonna go. I plan on covering the entire Vegito versus Gogeta war in a nutshell. We'll be talking about all forms of Gogeta and Vegito in this video. That will include Fusion Reborn, GT Gogeta, Dragon Ball Z Vegito, Blue Gogeta, and Blue Vegeta. However, I would not be definitely talking about the Dragon Ball superhero versions of these characters or any video games because, no! Vegito is created using Potara fusion, and this is seemingly more advantageous, as there is no need to spend time performing the fusion dance, and there is no need to synchronize power levels like with the Metamoran fusion. It is also supposedly to last indefinitely, at least in Dragon Ball Z. Once fused, the two fighters' powers are merged before being multiplied by tens of times. So for instance, if Goku had a power level of 100,000 and Vegeta had a power level of 90,000, they fuse with the power level of 190,000 times 10 at the very least, so Vegeta would then have a power level of 1.9 million, to say the least. Then add Super Saiyan to that and his power would shoot up drastically. Metamora fusion or fusion dance is powerful in its own right, but is subject to need for perfect synchronization. The two performers need to mirror each other's moves perfectly, as even a leg or finger out of place is so much will result in a disaster, better known as Vegeto. It's said that those who perform this fusion technique must be equal in power. So if Goku from the fight with Buu had to fuse with Vegeta from the fight with Buu, Goku would have to lower his power pretty significantly to meet Vegeta, especially since it's unknown if Vegeta at this time had actually achieved Super Saiyan 2 on his own. In the Buu saga, since we only seen it after the Majin amp, you could say that Majin is just an amplified version of what you already have, rather than a transformation unlocker or something. So he probably did have Super Saiyan 2, but you know, he felt immediately inferior to Goku when he used it for a brief instance against Yakon. So either that means that Goku Super Saiyan 2 is way stronger than Vegeta Super Saiyan 2, or Vegeta just didn't have Super Saiyan 2. Either way though, Goku would have to go from like a 10 down to a 7 to match Vegeta here in scaling. Now there isn't a formula for the Metamoran fusion, but you see it's been speculated based off certain wording of the fusion that it could be a plus B times X situation. How much X is, I don't know, but let's say it's 5 at the lowest and 10 at the highest. Similar to what we said with Vegito, which would be generous since the Potara fusion is stated to be much stronger than the Metamora fusion, so amps are probably more, but it's cool. So that would give us like, say 7 plus 7 equals 14 times 10, which is 140, and 10 plus 7 equals 17 times 10, which is 170. 7 being Vegeta and the 10 being Goku, but the 7 and 7 being Goku and Vegeta because Goku had to lower his power level to Vegeta's, let's say. Making a hypothetical Majin Buu Saga Gogeta weaker than the Buu Saga Vegito that we see in the show. That makes it 1-0 in Vegeto's favor. Alright! Now before we move on, there's a stigma I've seen on Vegeto's name that's rather interesting to me, which goes a little something like this. Oh, he never beats his opponents, yada yada yada. You do know that his intention was to get absorbed by Buu on purpose, right? So he could save everyone, because if he killed Buu, then everyone would die. And though logically that makes more sense, then you can wish everyone back with the Dragon Balls. Understand that Vegito is mostly a Goku dominant fusion, so yeah, keep that in mind. Now if we took this same Vegito and put him up against the Gogeta that we see in the Fusion Reborn movie, he would lose to Gogeta pretty badly actually. And the simple reason for that is due to Goku and Vegeta, but mostly Vegeta, being much stronger in the movie than in the Buu saga. It's a situation where even though the Potara fusion is stronger fusion, Vegeta is so strong here that Goku doesn't actually have to lower his power level so significantly that he did in the Buu saga. Say Goku is a 10 and Vegeta is a 10 here, which is 20 times 10, which is 200, making him stronger than the Vegito from the Buu saga. I am not Goku or Vegeta. We are Gogeta. However, a hypothetical Vegito in the Fusion Reborn would be stronger than Gogeta since Goku wouldn't have to lower his power for Vegeta at all, which would make it 2-1 in Vegito's favor. Alright! Iconic GT Gogeta is much stronger than his Z counterparts, and would be any form of Z Vegito as well, so you can give him a point for that if you want. A hypothetical Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta would surpass this Gogeta because the Potara fusion is a stronger fusion that has a higher multiplier. What's funny actually is that the Super Saiyan 4 itself is actually comparable to Vegeta. Crazy, right? So now that's 3-2 in Vegeto's favor. Now we can get to Dragon Ball Super. In Dragon Ball Super, Goku and Vegeta once again became Vegito. Now they don't finish the Masu off in time, and for that you guys can have that stigma. I really have nothing to say about that. They were told by the Kai that if they are not divine beings, then the fusion will not last forever. thus kind of retconning, the whole it's supposed to be an infinite time thing like it was in Z, making it similar to a time limit fusion like the Metamora fusion. But as you know, they didn't change the fundamentals of the power necessarily. It's only a time limit change. The more output of power that Vegito does, however, may make the fusion disassemble quicker, as it did in the show. The hypothetical Gogeta here would by default beat Vegito simply because of the time limit situation. And it's more due to Vegito's carefree Goku nature, that he would probably waste time in playing with Gogeta, and eventually he would utterly lose by default since he would defuse and, Gogeta would remain there. Gogeta doesn't win this fight because he's stronger than Vegito, however. If he took it, in fact, as serious as Gogeta would take it, he would beat him since he is the stronger fusion. The time limit wouldn't matter if he was bloodlusted, let's say. And because this is all hypothetical and this video is about who's stronger, not who would win in a fight necessarily, now it's 4-2 or 4-3 in Vegito's favor, if you want to give a point to either fusion being stronger than their Z and GT counterparts as we did previously. Vegito! In the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, the strongest fusion that we've seen thus far by Goku and Vegeta is the Gogeta that we see in the movie, destroying any fusion variation of either that we mentioned previously in Z, GT, or even early Super, which would make the score 4-3 or 5-4 still in Vegito's favor. And by now I think you know exactly what I'm going to say next. And yes, that's right, the hypothetical Vegito in the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie would dominate the Gogeta we see. Why, you may ask? Because Vegito is the stronger fusion. The same reason that we've been showcasing this entire time. The formula to Vegeta will always make him stronger, since for Gogeta, Goku and Vegeta had to be dead even to be Gogeta, and Vegito doesn't. Even if Goku and Vegeta are 10.1 and 10.2 in difference, still going to have a higher number than 10.1 and 10.1. That's just the facts. See, the thing is, the time limit for the fusion dance is 30 minutes instead of an hour. The biggest drawback, though, in fact, is that the two performers need to be at the same or almost the same power level to fuse successfully. So if Goku has a power level of 100,000, but Vegeta has a power level of 75,000, Goku would need to bump his power level down to 75,000 to fuse with Gogeta. Goku would even then have a power level of 150 multiplied by tens of times at least, resulting in a power level of 1.5 million, let's say. Then adding Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 20 would ramp up his power. From what I've read and noticed, though, the Metamoran fusions have a more stability to them than the Potara fusions, allowing them to draw deeper into their innate power and allows them for successful access to the power and probably better control. Potara, however, has a naturally stronger fighter but with less control of the entirety of the power, as the two fusees would not be synchronized enough to do so typically. But Goku and Vegeta is an exception. Vegeta was said to be actually the perfect warrior. That's why something like Super Saiyan Blue, which requires near-perfect ki control, is seamlessly effortless by Vegeta. Though Super Saiyan Blue used by Gogeta had a great effect. When he faced Broly, he made the dude explode 10 ways till Sunday, allowing him to get more of his base Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan Blue transformations ki usage. Vegeta also seemed to use quite a few new ki attacks, creating more moves entirely rather than just sticking to old ones like Goku and Vegeta know. The only new technique Vegeta uses, I guess you could say, is the Spirit Sword and the Saiyan Shield. Vegeta was seemingly more powerful, but to me, he doesn't seem to utilize his ki at all too much. Not as much as Gogeta anyway. Gogeta's fusion didn't wear off due to the extreme amounts of power he was using. The fusion time didn't seem shortened or end prematurely. Whereas with Vegito, even the set time of 1 hour shortened drastically by going blue. But at the end of the day, the results are in. Blow for blow, Vegito is just more powerful. Hey, it's me, Majin Bird. To all you Gogeta fans that stayed this long, I appreciate you. And I think for what it's worth, Gogeta probably is a more popular and cooler character than Vegito. Anyways, I got this cool theory that I think that Whis actually the entire time of Dragon Ball Super has been preparing to train Goku over Beerus. Doesn't that sound crazy? Next time on Majin Bird, Whis' true intentions, why he prioritized Goku over Beerus. Don't miss it.